There is a silence inside you that refuses to be ignored. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy, ancient kind that rises every time you try to be like everyone else. You felt it in rooms full of laughter, in conversations where smiles were wide but souls were empty, and while others seemed perfectly at home, you felt the air thinning, as if your spirit was quietly searching for an exit. For years, you might have thought this meant something was wrong with you, that maybe you were shy, too sensitive, or simply unable to fit in. But what if I told you this isn't a flaw at all? What if this quiet ache is not weakness, but a signal placed within you before your first breath, a divine whisper saying, "This is not your home," because some people are sent into this life to follow the rhythm of the crowd, and others are set apart to carry a different sound, one the world is not used to hearing, and that sound is yours. From the very beginning, your life has been under a careful, unseen hand. Certain doors were never meant to open for you. Certain voices were never meant to shape you. You have been preserved, not because you are fragile, but because what you carry is too rare to be placed in careless hands. And maybe now is the moment you finally understand why. If, as you hear these words, something deep inside you whispers, "I've always known," mark this moment. Type 111 in the comments right now. It is the sign of alignment, your way of saying, "I am ready to step into what I was made for." And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Not for the sake of numbers, but because what comes next will speak to the part of you that has been waiting in silence for years. Take a deep breath, because the next step will reveal why your path has always been narrower, lonelier, and yet divinely protected. The path you walk has never been wide, it has never been crowded. While others travel in groups, surrounded by noise and comfort, you've found yourself moving through quieter, lonelier roads, and sometimes you've questioned why. Why your friendships fade without warning. Why opportunities that seemed perfect vanish overnight. Why people you thought would be with you forever suddenly step away. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. When your life carries a purpose that cannot be diluted, heaven begins the work of separation early. You are pulled away from what could weaken you. The places that would dull your discernment are closed to you. The relationships that would anchor you to the wrong season are gently or sometimes painfully removed. The narrow road is not a punishment, it's protection. It ensures that what you carry will not be crushed under the weight of what is unworthy. And though it feels lonely, it is in this very solitude that your gifts awaken, your vision sharpens, your ears become tuned to a voice the crowd cannot hear. On this road, you learn to move without needing applause. You learn to choose purpose over comfort. And slowly, the emptiness you once feared begins to feel like sacred space, a place where you can breathe without the pressure to pretend. If you've ever looked around and wondered why you seem to be walking a different road from everyone else, it's because you are. And the destination is not the same. The many move toward safety. The chosen move toward destiny. From as far back as you can remember, there's been a distance between you and the world around you. It's not that you didn't try to belong. You did. You smiled when others smiled. You entered spaces that promised connection. You tried to weave yourself into the fabric of the crowd. And yet, no matter how deeply you engaged, there was always that quiet voice inside whispering, "This is not where you fit." You noticed things others didn't. The heaviness behind a forced laugh. The emptiness in a celebration that everyone else seemed to enjoy. The undercurrent of dishonesty in a room filled with polite words. While the crowd was carried by the rhythm of the moment, you stood on the edges, observing. It wasn't arrogance, it wasn't shyness. It was instinct, because your spirit refuses to settle in places that are not aligned with truth. And so, while others blend in seamlessly, you feel that subtle resistance, the pull that keeps you from fully merging with the ordinary. The world might label this as being too sensitive, aloof, or distant, but heaven calls it separation. The pain of not belonging is real. It can feel like a weight pressing on your chest in the middle of a crowded room. It can feel like the sharp ache of being unseen even when you're surrounded by people. But there is purpose in this ache. It keeps you from losing yourself in places that were never meant to hold you. You are not meant to belong everywhere because not every space is worthy of what you carry. And the sooner you stop trying to fit into rooms you've outgrown, the sooner you'll step into spaces designed specifically for you. The world often mistakes sensitivity for fragility, as if feeling deeply is a weakness to be corrected. But for those set apart, sensitivity is not a flaw. It is one of your greatest protections. It is the armor woven into your spirit that allows you to detect danger before it arrives, to sense truth before it's spoken, to feel deception even when it's dressed in charm. Long before words are spoken, you've already caught the tremor in someone's tone. Before stepping into a room, you've already felt whether the atmosphere is heavy or safe. While others move forward blindly, you are stopped, not by fear, but by an inner warning that refuses to let you walk into what will harm you. This is how heaven speaks to you. Through the subtle shifts you feel in your body, through the unease that rises without explanation, through the sudden clarity that tells you to leave, to pause, or to pray. And though carrying this gift can feel exhausting, because you often absorb fragments of other people's pain, anger, or confusion, it is also what keeps your path pure. But this armor must be cared for. If you allow the storms of others to live in you, their chaos can drain your strength. This is why solitude becomes necessary, not as isolation for its own sake, but as a cleansing ground where your frequency is restored, your clarity returns, and your discernment stays sharp. Sensitivity is the compass that guides you toward what is aligned and warns you away from what would dim your light. It is not your weakness. It is your sacred shield. For most people, a crowded room is just a room. But for you, it can feel like stepping into a storm. Every person carries an atmosphere, a mixture of emotions, thoughts, and unspoken battles. And when dozens of these collide in one space, your spirit becomes a sponge, absorbing what is not yours. You can feel the frustration of a stranger standing behind you, the silent grief of someone across the room, the bitterness hidden beneath a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. You don't just notice these things, you carry them, often without meaning to. And it's why, after spending just a short time in certain environments, you can feel heavy, restless, or deeply tired in ways that no amount of rest can fix. This isn't weakness. It's your discernment in action. It's your spirit telling you, this place is not aligned with your energy. It's God's way of saying, protect yourself, because you are not called to dissolve into the crowd. You are called to move with intention, to guard the sacred space within you. When too much noise, physical or spiritual, clouds your clarity, your mission becomes harder to carry. And a chosen one without clarity is like a light hidden under a covering. This is why there are places you will never feel at home, no matter how hard you try. Why doors close before you can walk through them. Why certain people are kept at a distance. It is divine protection, even when it feels like rejection. In a world addicted to noise, solitude becomes your refuge. Not loneliness, but holy ground, where your spirit can breathe freely and your clarity can return in full strength. Every warrior of light must pass through a season the world calls emptiness, but heaven calls preparation. This place is the desert, where the crowd disappears, the noise fades, and you are left face to face with the raw truth of who you are and who you are becoming. The desert is not comfortable. Its nights can feel cold with loneliness, and its days can stretch endlessly with waiting. Here the familiar voices vanish. The distractions that once filled your time dissolve. Even the paths you thought were secure seem to disappear beneath your feet. But this is not abandonment. It is refinement. In the silence of the desert, God sharpens your discernment, strengthens your endurance, and polishes the armor of your soul. It is here that you learn to recognize his voice above all others. Not the voice of the crowd, not the opinions of strangers, but the steady, unmistakable whisper of the Almighty. In this solitude, your gifts awaken, your vision clears. Your spirit grows strong enough to carry what's ahead without bending under its weight. The desert strips away the layers you once wore to blend in and reveals the strength that was hidden within you all along. And though this season can feel like being left behind, in reality, it is acceleration in disguise. Heaven is not withholding from you. It is building you, preparing you to step into your calling without fear, without confusion, and without compromise. To the untrained eye, isolation looks like exile, as if you've been pushed aside, forgotten, or left behind while the rest of the world moves forward. But in the language of heaven, isolation is never abandonment. It is a fortress. When your destiny is too delicate to be exposed too soon, God hides you. He removes you from certain circles, closes doors you thought were blessings, and keeps you from places that seem harmless but would quietly erode your strength. This is not cruelty. It is care. Because the wrong voices can distort your mission, and the wrong environments can drain your spirit before you've even begun. In hiddenness, heaven works in ways the world cannot see. It silences the noise so you can hear truth without interference. It strengthens your spiritual armor so you can stand unshaken in the seasons ahead. It refines your discernment so that when your moment comes, you will know without doubt where to step, what to say, and what to avoid. Many resist this season, calling it a delay or punishment. But isolation is acceleration in disguise. It saves you from detours that could have stolen years from your calling. It frees you from the weight of influences that would have slowed your pace. And it allows your roots to grow deep enough that no storm, physical or spiritual, can uproot you. Even when no human stands beside you, the unseen realm is alive with activity. Angels guard you, the Spirit speaks to you, and God himself draws nearer because nothing stands between you and his voice. Refinement is never a gentle process. It is the fire that tests the metal, the pressure that shapes the stone, the pruning that cuts away what no longer serves the vine. For those who are set apart, refinement is not optional. It is essential. The mission you carry is too precious to rest on a foundation that could crack under pressure. In this stage, God works as the master craftsman, holding your life with the precision of one who knows exactly what must remain and what must go. His tools are not always comfortable. He uses delays to teach patience, loss to teach detachment, closed doors to teach trust, silence to sharpen your hearing. During refinement, the layers of insecurity and dependence on the opinions of others are burned away. The distractions that once clouded your vision fall away until only the core of your purpose remains, and from that core you begin to move differently. Not chasing every opportunity, not accepting every invitation, not following every voice. You walk with discernment, recognizing that not everything that glitters is gold, and not every path is yours to take. This process also reveals strength you didn't know you had. There will be moments when you feel stretched beyond your limits, when you wonder if you can take another step. But it is here, under pressure, that endurance is forged. Like gold purified in the furnace, you emerge stronger, sharper, and impossible to bend under the weight of lesser things. Refinement is not God trying to break you. It's His way of ensuring you will not crumble under the weight of your calling. And when the process is complete, you will walk with a stillness that nothing can shake, carrying a clarity that guides every step forward. To carry light in a world accustomed to shadows is both a burden and an honor. It is a gift that draws others to you without understanding why. And yet, it is also a responsibility that demands constant vigilance. Light does not move unnoticed. It calls to the weary, comforts the broken, and guides the lost. But it also attracts resistance from forces that cannot survive in its presence. From the moment your spirit began to awaken, you were entrusted with something eternal, a flame that is not meant to be hidden, yet must be guarded carefully. This is why you have often felt the tension between wanting to give freely and needing to protect what you carry. The truth is, not everyone who reaches for your light intends to honor it. Some come to be warmed by it. Others come to dim it. And so, you have learned, sometimes through joy, sometimes through pain, that discernment is not optional for those who carry a calling. Every conversation, every connection, every environment has the potential to either fuel your light or drain it. You cannot move carelessly because your energy is not a renewable resource given without cost. It is a sacred oil meant to be poured with intention. The honor of carrying light is that you become a living beacon, a reminder to others of what is possible when heaven's hand is on a life. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your words plant seeds you may never see grow. Your resilience inspires those who have almost given up. You are a silent testimony that hope still lives. The weight of carrying light is that you must also endure seasons of misunderstanding. Some will mistake your boundaries for pride. Others will see your silence as arrogance. But what they do not understand is that light cannot burn forever in every direction. It must be directed toward the mission for which it was given. There will be days when the burden feels heavy, when you wonder why you were chosen to see, to feel, to discern so much more deeply than those around you. In those moments, remember this: heaven never gives light without also giving the strength to sustain it. And the very reason you were entrusted with it is because heaven knew you would not hide it, waste it, or sell it cheaply. Your light is not only for you. It is for the ones you will never meet, the prayers you will never hear, and the lives you will touch without even knowing. To carry light is to live beyond yourself, to move through the world with the constant awareness that your steps are part of a story much bigger than your own. Every chosen life carries a visible journey and an invisible one. What people see, the steps you take, the words you speak, the choices you make, is only half the truth. The other half is the unseen battle that has been unfolding around you from the moment your calling was set in motion. The resistance you faced has never been only human. The sudden setbacks, the unexplainable delays, the weight of discouragement that sometimes falls without warning, these are not coincidences. They are signs that your life moves on a battlefield where forces of light and darkness contend for influence. This is why certain seasons have felt unusually heavy, even when nothing obvious was wrong. It is why moments of breakthrough have often been met with unexpected opposition. The greater your light, the more determined the shadows become to challenge it. And yet, this is also why you have never truly walked alone. The same way opposition rises against you, protection rises for you. You have invisible allies, messengers of light who guard your steps, strengthen your spirit, and shield you from attacks you never even knew were coming. There are doors you thought were closed out of bad luck, but in truth, they were sealed by heaven's hand to keep you from harm. There are situations you thought were losses, but in reality, they were strategic rescues. This unseen battle is not a reason for fear. It is a reason for awareness. It calls you to live with spiritual alertness, to guard your mind from lies, your heart from bitterness, and your spirit from weariness. The attacks will come, but so will the reinforcements. Your invisible allies are not just protectors, they are also guides. They whisper direction when the road is unclear. They strengthen you when your body feels tired. They remind you that, even in the darkest night, you're surrounded by forces that cannot be defeated. The world may never see the full extent of what you've overcome. The silent battles fought in prayer, the private wars waged in your heart. But heaven has seen every one of them, and every victory, both visible and invisible, has forged you into a warrior capable of carrying your mission to completion. To be chosen is to walk with the awareness that your life matters too much to go unchallenged. But it also matters too much to go unprotected. You have been guarded, guided, and sustained for a reason. And that reason is unfolding with every step you take forward. Nothing in your journey has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single sleepless night, not a single unanswered question. Every moment, the seasons of silence, the years of feeling different, the countless times you have walked away from the crowd without knowing exactly why, has been part of a divine pattern carefully woven around your life. You were hidden, so your roots could grow deep before the winds came. You were separated, so your voice could be tuned to the frequency of truth. You were refined, so that when the moment arrived, you would be able to carry the weight of your calling without bending, without breaking, without losing your light. For a long time, it may have felt as if your life was a series of detours, delays, and closed doors. But now you can begin to see it differently. Those detours were protection, those delays were preparation, those closed doors were redirections, each one moving you closer to the road you were always meant to walk. And today, you stand not at the end of your story, but at the threshold of the chapter you were created for. From here on, you are not simply living, you are moving with purpose. Every step you take is part of an assignment that reaches beyond your own lifetime. Your words, your presence, your choices will echo into places you may never physically reach. And the beauty of it is this: you are not required to be perfect, only faithful. To be chosen is not about being flawless. It is about being willing to walk when the road narrows, willing to stand when others bow to comfort, willing to hold your light high even when the darkness presses in. And as you walk, you will begin to notice something extraordinary. The same God who called you is the one who equips you. You will never be sent without the strength to arrive. Yes, there will still be battles ahead. The unseen realm does not stop resisting simply because you've awakened, but you no longer fight from a place of uncertainty. You fight from a place of knowing who walks beside you. Invisible allies surround you. The same presence that protected you in hidden seasons will go before you in public ones. And when you face opposition, and you will, remember that light does not fear the presence of shadow, it transforms it. Every moment of resistance will only sharpen your resolve. Every attempt to silence you will only make your voice clearer. Every challenge will become another layer of the testimony you carry. Your life is no longer about survival. It is about impact. And impact requires movement. So, you will keep moving, forward, upward, inward, deepening your connection with the source that fuels you. You will guard your inner world as the sacred territory it is. You will choose your battles wisely, your words carefully, and your companions intentionally. Because not every path is worthy of your steps, and not every voice is worthy of your attention. Understand this. Your awakening is not just for you. It is for those who are still sleeping, who will one day hear your story and feel something inside them stir. You are a living signpost, pointing to what is possible when a life is surrendered to its true mission. You are proof that heaven's plans cannot be stopped by man's misunderstanding, delayed by time, or undone by failure. And so, I ask you, if these words have confirmed what your spirit has been whispering for years, if you feel the quiet fire rising inside you, ready to step fully into what you were made for, type 111 in the comments right now. Let it be your seal, not to me, not to an audience, but to yourself and to heaven. When you write it, you are saying, I am ready. I will not hide. I will walk in my calling. If you haven't yet, subscribe, not because it is expected, but because this is not the end. It is the beginning. And walking this path with others who understand it will strengthen you for the road ahead. Together we will guard the light, expand its reach, and stand as reminders that even in the darkest times, heaven's chosen remain unshaken. As you leave this moment and step back into your day, remember, you are not just seen, you are known. You are not just alive, you are sent. And every step from here forward has already been marked by the one who called you. Walk boldly, walk intentionally, walk as one who has been awakened, unstoppable, and forever aligned with the mission written for you before the beginning of time.